A woman wanders alone into the darkness. It's a common sight on the seedy strip of this California town. Addicts, prostitutes, and other streetwalkers. This mother's mentally ill daughter was among them and came to her in 2012 with a startling accusation.
One day she said, "I'm having sex with a cop." I went, "You're what?" She said, "I'm having sex with this cop." I went, "What do you mean?" What do you mean? And she's like, "Oh, nothing." And then she played it off and she didn't say anything more. And I kind of pushed her, and then she's like, "Well, he makes me have sex with him."
She says that cop was Sergio Alvarez, a patrol officer on the overnight shift, one who'd once taken an oath to protect and serve his hometown. The Associated Press has found that Alvarez is far from the only law enforcement officer accused of sexual misconduct. An AP investigation uncovered about 1,000 cases in a recent 6-year period where those officers have been stripped of their police licenses because of rape or other sexual misconduct. And there are undoubtedly more, since some states, including California and New York, don't decertify officers for misconduct, and 3 states didn't hand over their records.
It's source 3.
Sergio Alvarez cruised the streets of West Sacramento in search of victims, often calling into police dispatch looking for dirt to hold over their heads.
She's clear. Were you expecting her at something else?
Like probation or something.
Negative probation.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome. Bye.
Even when he found no reason to hold them, prosecutors say Alvarez drove his victims to places like this dark alley, where he raped them or forced them to perform oral sex in exchange for their freedom.
As in any profession, you have some bad actors. In this case, it was one officer, and he committed some horrific acts on extremely vulnerable women, and he paid the price.
Local news followed Alvarez's trial and sentence, one of the harshest handed down to an officer in the AP investigation.
Today, Alvarez was given 205 years to life following his conviction on sexual assault and kidnapping charges.
Alvarez, now in prison in Southern California and appealing the conviction, didn't respond to an AP request for an interview. His attorneys also refused comment. But the town's new police chief, who took over after Alvarez's arrest, doesn't mince words.
There was no weeping. No tears in West Sacramento Police Department the day that sentencing came down.
Like chiefs across the country, Tom McDonald hopes more supervision, including body cameras, will help prevent future misconduct. But he also wants his officers to police one another.
That it's an expectation that if they see something that's inappropriate, they need to stand up.
His city recently agreed to pay $4.1 million to 6 victims who filed civil lawsuits. Other departments across the country are facing similar suits. They include the case of a former police intern in Las Cruces, New Mexico, Diana Guerrero. At age 17, she was sexually assaulted by a former sex crimes detective, Michael Garcia, now serving 9 years in federal prison.
I questioned life, I questioned religion, I questioned the law, I questioned everything. I could not understand what happened. It happened so fast, and literally it was the worst day of my life.
Guerrero, no longer sure she wants to be a police officer, now suffers from PTSD. In California, HEATHERLYN BEVARD also worries about her daughter, who did not speak on camera because of her deteriorated mental state.
She doesn't know what to do. She's afraid. She thinks she needs protecting from the police when they're supposed to be the ones protecting her. Sorry.
It is a betrayal by the badge that will be difficult to overcome. Martha Irvin, Associated Press, West Sacramento, California.